What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Unlock Your Freedom podcast with Kevin Kepple. If you're looking to create more in your life, and if you want more of anything, it's not about doing more, it's about being more. So I'm excited you're here, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Alrighty, you guys, welcome back to Unlocking Your Freedom with Kevin Kepple. So today, I thought it'd be fun to do influence part 2 and explore some ideas specifically around resistance, that invisible force that stops us, stands in our way, or slows us down from doing the things we want to do most, or from the people we're attempting to influence, the thing that stops them, slows them down, or stands in their way of moving forward and creating some meaningful change in their lives. Before we get to that, really quick, a couple of shameless plugs. Thank you so very much to everyone who's bought a copy of my new book, Unlocking Your Freedom, available on Amazon. And thanks to you guys, I am super grateful and happy to share with y'all that it's now a international and national #1 bestseller on Amazon. And that is really cool. And that is all because of you guys. So thank you so much to everyone who has purchased that or plans to purchase that. Really, really grateful. It means so much to me. I worked really hard on this, and hopefully it creates a lot of value for you and your life. And if you do purchase it or you have, please leave a review on Amazon. It truly helps more than you'll ever know. In addition, I'm also really excited to share that our Freedom Academy is now live. We launched it this past week, and I'm really pumped. We've got a few amazing members already inside. We did a morning magic call today, which was so much fun, and got to connect, have a little community, and learn a little bit and get motivated and just really come out at the week with a head of steam and the wind at our backs. So if you want to get involved in the Freedom Academy right now, we have beta pricing. It's $27 a month. There's no commitment after that. So it's an absolute steal for what you're going to get inside of there. You get morning magic motivation every day, sometimes live, sometimes recorded, but every week you'll get one live call as well. And then each month we'll have one extended live training for you. We have a resource library with tons of worksheets and downloads that you can use. And you get Voxer access to me and my team should you need it. And you get a community of other people who are like-minded leaders on like-minded journeys. So if you want to check out the details, you can go to school.com/Freedom Academy. And school is spelled SKOOL.com/Freedom Academy. So go check it out. And if you are interested, make sure you jump in so you can get the low price while it's still available. And we'd love to have you inside. All righty, you guys. So let's get right to it. When you think about your goals and your vision for the future, what's stopping you? What's standing in the way of you getting everything just the way you'd like to have it? What's slowing you down? When you answer these questions, whatever answer you come up with, that's going to help you identify the resistance in your life, in your business, in your relationships. And resistance, with a capital R, resistance can be something that we feel internally or something we feel externally from other people or from situations. I had the opportunity to volunteer at an event called Winterfest back in December. And, Winterfest is a bit of an oxymoron in Dallas, in December at least. It's February right now here in Dallas, and it's 80 degrees today. So it's an oxymoron most of the time. We get cold once in a while, but usually it warms back up. But anyways, in December, I worked at Winterfest. We had a fake snow hill, a fake ice skating rink, and real carriage rides. And it was a lot of fun. And it was a community event. And my job was to be at the top of the fake snow hill and help the kids into the tubes and get them down the hill. And the snow hill was pretty dicey because Texas is pretty flat. We had to have a fake hill as well. And so you had to climb up this like metal sketchy ladder to get to the top. And it was like pretty intimidating, even as an adult, getting up there because the platform was pretty small. The ladder kind of shook and the staircase was pretty steep. And when you got to the top, there was this kind of weird lip. And so I kind of had to hold the tube the kids would sit in, and I had to convince them to turn around backwards, sit in the tube, let me turn them around the other way, and then let go, and they were on their way. And I don't know how many people came through that line, but at least 100, probably more like 200. And it was a really popular attraction. We don't have a lot of snow hills here in Texas, and so it was, pretty novel, so well attended. And, out of all the kids that came through, as soon as they got to the top, they're like, "Hey, it's all right. Here's what we need to do. Turn around backwards, sit in the little hole, and I'll spin you around, and I'll let you go, and you're on your way." Super simple. And every kid was totally open to that and totally cool with it, except for one. One little boy, one young man, as soon as I said those words to him, "Hey, turn around, sit down in this hole, and I'll spin you back around, and you're on your way." And he looked at me and he goes, "You're lying to me." And I said, "No, man, I promise. Like, it's no problem, man. Just have a seat, man. I'll hold on real tight and I'll spin you back around and then I'll let you go." He goes, "You're lying to me." And he kept saying it. He must have said that 5 or 6 times. And like the last time he said it, I go, "No, man, I promise." I was like, "Don't worry, man. I'll take care of you." And I was thinking in my head as he's saying this to me, I'm like, he must have an older brother who's like gotten him good. Like, "Hey, we'll all jump in the pool if you jump in," or because I have an older brother and I know how that goes. But I was like, "Come on, man. Just it's good. I got you, man. You can trust me." And he pointed his little finger in my face, and I was on my knees holding the tube. He stuck his finger in my face. He goes, "You're lying to me." And he was mad. And so he starts climbing in the tube the wrong way. And as he was climbing in, he kicks my hand off of it, and my grip slipped, and he ended up going down the hill backwards, anyways. And he didn't get hurt. He jumped up smiling. It looked like he had a great time, and he ran off to his parents, and it was all good. But the reason that I created so much resistance with him was I didn't use the simple influence equation that I know. And the influence equation is simply the specific sequence you speak in that allows people to bypass the resistance that our brains naturally have to new ideas. Because change is risky to our minds. And so it's going to create some stress. And if we don't message people with the proper influence equation, if we just answer them in the here and now, like, "Hey, sit in the tube and I'll let go, it'll be awesome." Then I didn't give him a frame of reference. And so he created his own frame of reference. And his frame of reference happened to be negative. And so we'll come back to that sequence in just a second. But one of my favorite books on resistance is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. I have probably read that book more than I've read any other book. It's a fairly short book, and I've listened to it many times too. And it's all about resistance. And Stephen Pressfield outlines that invisible force that stops us better than anybody I've ever seen. And really, resistance comes from 4 places, whether it's resistance internal or resistance external, like I had with the young man who didn't want to get in the tube backwards. And the first reason we have resistance is a lack of trust. My little friend, he didn't trust me. He didn't trust that I really had his best interest at heart, that I was going to hold on to the tube and not let him go down backwards. And the second thing that creates resistance is a perceived negative impact. He perceived that if he trusted me and listened to me, he was going to get a negative impact. He was going to go down backwards. The third thing that creates resistance is a loss of control. How many people do you know that like, I just like control? I really like control. I was actually listening to an interview earlier with Kid Rock, and however you feel about Kid Rock, he's wildly successful. And he talked about how much, control is important to him. And I get it. Like control, it's a good thing to have, but I don't need to have it all the time. Because if I tell myself I always need control of everything, that's going to create a massive amount of resistance when I feel like I don't have control. And the young man from my story did not feel like he had control of his own destiny if I was getting him to do what I wanted. He wanted to do what he wanted. And then number 4, fear of the unknown is a massive creator of resistance. He didn't know what was gonna happen if he sat down and trusted me, sat down backwards. And I know myself included, when those 4 things aren't present, when I don't trust myself, the situation, the person who's trying to influence me, or I perceive there's gonna be a negative impact, or I feel like I'm gonna totally lose control, or I'm just afraid of the unknown, like that creates resistance. And it is so important that we understand what influence is all about. If we're truly trying to influence the behavior of other people or ourselves, it's about 2 things. It's about building trust and communicating value. That's what influence is all about. So whether you're trying to influence yourself to a new desired behavior or to achieve a big goal, or you're trying to influence the people you lead potentially, first and foremost, you have to build trust and then you communicate value. The simplest way that you can build trust in yourself is to raise your self awareness. And the easiest, most powerful way to raise your self awareness is to understand on a deep level your strengths and your weaknesses, or your strengths and your potential blind spots, because your blind spots are where a lot of your resistance is going to be created. And your strengths, like they are your most powerful opportunities for elite performance. These are your superpowers. This is your natural genius if you use them all combined together. However, the opposite of that power is your shadow side. And so that power, when it becomes inverted, it becomes very forceful and you generate resistance. And so it's crucial that you understand, hey, what does the best of me look like when I'm creating from this place of love? And what does it look like when I get in this resistant, reactive place and I start going to war with myself and I start creating resistance? through my actions, through my thoughts, resistance with myself, resistance with other people. And when it comes to other people, so personally, raising our self awareness is one of the best ways to reduce resistance. But with other people, one of the best things you can do to create trust and therefore reduce resistance is to be authentic, to be authentically you. And it doesn't mean people are going to love everything about you, but they're going to know that they can trust you are who you say you are. I had the opportunity to go to a really cool event last week in Chicago. Shout out Creative Con. It was awesome. And there were so many great speakers, and everybody did a really, really great job. And I was so happy to be a part of it. And I met so many amazing people. And there was one speaker that just, he had a good message, but something just didn't feel authentic about the way he was sharing. And I asked some of the people that I was with, what did you think of this speaker? And they said the same thing that I was thinking. They just said it differently. They said, "I don't think he believed what he was saying. I don't think he was lying. I just don't think he was being authentic." And there's that word, authentic. And being authentic is being authentic to your natural strengths, your natural gifts, your natural talents. My favorite way to raise my self awareness and of the hundreds of people that I've been lucky enough to coach is with Strength Finders, because that shows you what the most authentic version of you looks like. And it shows you what that looks like when you totally create resistance in your own life and start forcing things and giving all your power away. And I have, again, worked with thousands of people with the Strength Finders tool and through large groups, coaching, training, and speaking, and individually coaching people. I've worked with hundreds of leaders, whether it's a CEO, a manager, or anybody in between. Every single time, the more people understand their natural gifts and talents and how to use those in a way to serve others, their relationships improve, their performance improves, their creativity improves. Therefore, they're much more innovative. And that is absolutely how you unlock your freedom right there, is by leaning in through the uniqueness and the authentic self that you bring to the table. And that is absolutely how you create quantum lives, quantum leaps in your life and in your business. Alrighty, you guys. If you have not taken Strength Finders, it has been rebranded, by the way. It is now called Clifton Strengths Assessment. It's the same exact assessment. I highly recommend that you go to their website, purchase the assessment, and take it. And if you do, share your results with me. I'd be happy to give you a free little rundown of what your strengths mean to you. Because again, I've worked with thousands of people through groups, speaking, training, and hundreds of people one on one. I have thousands of hours using this tool. And every single time somebody raises their awareness with this tool, their results, they don't just get a little better, they get dramatically better. And that's that quantum leap I'm talking about. And quantum leaps are where you skip massive amounts of steps towards your goals. And yeah, so thanks you guys for being here with me today. Hopefully this was helpful. And if it was, I'd greatly appreciate you sharing this out on social media. And if you hadn't had the opportunity yet, please leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. It really helps us a lot. And one more quick shameless plug. If you haven't purchased Unlocking Your Freedom by Kevin Keppel on Amazon, number one national and international best-selling book. I would love it if you'd purchase that and leave me a review. It really helps other people find our work and hopefully get some value out of that. And if you want to get involved with a community of other people that are like-minded leaders on like-minded journeys, join us in the Freedom Academy right now. Again, it's $27 a month. It's an absolute steal, and that price won't be that low forever. But if you want to get more details, go to school.com/Freedom Academy. And that's SKOOL.com/Freedom Academy. All righty, you guys. I love y'all. See you next time. Alrighty, you guys. Thanks for making it through to the end of the Unlock Your Freedom podcast with us. Really grateful to have amazing listeners like you. Thank you guys again for listening. We love you, and we'll see you next time inside the Unlock Your Freedom podcast with Kevin Keppel.